We did the first step at FIFA by increasing significantly the prize money, and our objective is to reach the equal pay situation in the next World Cup. But broadcasters, especially public broadcasters funded by taxpayers' money, should put their action behind their words, because they rightfully criticize football organizations or other sports organizations for not paying equally women and men, or not having the same prize money. Well, we need to generate these revenues, and they should help us, because otherwise we'll simply not sell these rights at these undervalued prices to them. And well, the European public will not be able to watch the Women's World Cup, which, after the success of the last tournament in France, after the success of the Euro, would be really, really a pity. As Ngozi said as well, you know, the economy has to grow. If we manage to grow the football economy in the world at, let's say, half of what Europe is doing, we are speaking of $500 billion economy almost globally. And this is absolutely feasible based on how the game is developing all over the world. But I think what is more important than that is we want to see the game developing, and women's football, women's empowerment is a very significant part of that. The Cotton 4 initiative is also there, a symbol, but a concrete action as well, which will be an example to many. We have seen recently big successes in football. Of course, in Europe with 90,000 spectators in some games, but also at the last African Cup of Nations for women in Morocco. 50,000 people were at the final. And in an Arab country, in a Muslim country, in Morocco, to watch a women's football tournament. These are signals that are important. Her Royal Highness Princess Reem is there. Saudi Arabia is doing a great job. They've created a women's league. They are now part of the 188 countries which entered the FIFA women's ranking. We have 211 countries, so there is still a little bit to go, and we want to see all of them in our ranking. But it's important that we have this. It's important we have women's football in Sudan. In Paraguay, they just created the first center for excellence for women's football only. It's the first country who does that. Very, very important all over the world. So we need the game to grow all over the world. We need the economy, the trade around the game to grow all over the world. And I'm sure in 10 years from now, but hopefully earlier as well, we will see even more of that.
Women at the Men's World Cup as referees. This is a competition that in 92-year history, we had no women referees. And now we had 6 across the globe at the quality to officiate at the tournament. This is a big statement and a big change in what's possible for women in football. We talk about women's football and we talk about women in football. So that change is very positive. We've had so many firsts in just the last few years. You know, as of 2017, we only had women at 3 international competitions. And now we had 25, over 25 actually. So we're talking about the Men's Champions League in both Europe and in Asia and in CONCACAF. We're talking about the Copa Libertadores, so South America. We're talking about in Africa, in the CHAN and in the African Cup of Nations for men, that we've had women referees. I mean, incredible in just a few years to see this kind of momentum. The fact that women are being paid, this is their job. This was not a career you could have before. I did it as a second job. It wasn't something I could afford to do full time. And now we've really changed the culture. We've had...
Oh, a big one. No, I mean, as Gianni said before, like how it's developing, and not just the prize money. So all like more teams included, and it gives the young players, to see, players from their country to participate on the World Cup and gonna live the same dream. So I think it gives maybe, as I said before, like a lot of opportunities for young girls and even to develop our game and to get better and better and to compete with a lot of countries and not just in Europe, also all over the world. And so this is what I really love to see, and there's a big chance in my opinion.
Could I ask for the staff who worked on this?